Colonial response. If you were someone that's living in Africa or living in any of these other nations and another country comes in and takes over, are you going to be happy? Are you going to like it? Probably not. Okay? So with this colonial response, we're going to look at two countries. We're going to look at China. We're going to look at Japan. Okay? Both of those nations, before those European countries came in and took over, they would be considered as hermits. They didn't let anyone into their country. They didn't let anyone out of their country. They were isolated. They were there by themselves, where their culture and everything was very carefully watched over. Okay? Well, the United States and Europe is going to go in, and they're going to force those two countries to open their ports. They're going to force those two countries to let them come in and trade. Well, guys, when that happens, they're going to have to make a decision. Do we keep our cultures, or do we start adopting some of the cultures that these Europeans are bringing in and the Americans are bringing in? All right, so let's look at Japan. We'll actually start Japan tomorrow, I think, but I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so this is why I want to go ahead and do this, okay? All right, so, guys, by the end of the 1800s, Japan had decided that they were going to go ahead and adopt some of those Western cultures, okay? They're going to look at what the United States is doing. They're going to look at what European powers were doing and how they could bring some of those things into their country to make their country better. So one of the things they do is they're going to go in and they're going to change their political system. They're going to write a new constitution. This constitution is going to be based off of Germany's new constitution. Okay. One of the things they do is before this, their military was controlled by like the shoguns, the samurais. Now it's going to be mandatory that every male serve 3 years in their country. So, guys, by the time war actually breaks out and they get involved in World War II, every man in their country has served in their government of a certain age. So, even if we're not currently fighting in World War II, if their country was invaded, they were prepared. Okay? Another thing they changed is going to be their education system. At that time, there in Japan, only the upper class went to school, but now they're going to change it so that everyone attends school. It's going to make it mandatory for everyone to attend elementary school, everyone to attend high school, and then they're actually going to start opening up some universities in their country for their people to go to rather than them having to go to other countries to attend college. Okay? Now, Japan is actually going to become a superpower. Japan wants to kind of show that their military is capable of doing something. Okay? So, if you look at a map, guys, what does Japan look like? Is it a huge country? No. It is a tiny little set of islands. Okay? They're not huge. There's no other islands there. They're occupying all the islands. So for them to expand their influence, that means they're going to have to go in and take land away from someone. Okay? So the first time they do this, they're going to take islands away from China. They're just kind of testing the water. What type of resistance is China going to have? Are they going to fight back? Are we going to be able to go in and take the islands? They took the islands with very little resistance. Then they turn their attention to Korea. And they're going to do to Korea what had happened to them. They're going to force Korea to open their ports and start trading with them. Then they're going to step it up and they're going to start a war with Russia because they're wanting some land for Russia. This is called the Russo-Japanese War. This is going to happen late 1800s, early 1900s. Guys, this one war is going to make Japan a world power. So when you think of world powers at this time, you usually think of Great Britain, the United States, maybe Germany, but now guess who you're adding in? you're adding Japan in. Okay? Japan will be involved in World War I, not as much as they will in World War II, but this is kind of setting their stage. Okay? All right, so today you have something that's called chain reaction. You've got one page to look at, and it's kind of in bullet form, so it's going to be easy. Guys, if you remember, chain reaction is cause and effect, and you're looking at the Boxer Rebellion there in Africa. So what caused the Boxer Rebellion? Excuse me, it's not in Africa, it's in Japan, excuse me, China area. What caused it? What were the effects? Okay. Also, you need to label those events as either an E, S, or a P. Was it an economic event? Was it a social event? Or was it a political event? Okay. Now, here's the deal, guys. Tomorrow you have a triple threat where you have those 3 pictures you have to look at, and you have to tell me, an observation, an inference, and a prediction. So it's not going to take you long to do that assignment. So if you don't finish today's assignment, don't panic. It's not due until tomorrow night, so you can work on it today. Okay? Questions? All right. So if y'all would go